practices. Through multidisciplinary approaches, we aim to foster collaborations, stimulate innovative thinking, and identify scalable solutions to pressing global challenges. Over the course of today's conference, we will engage in thought-provoking discussions, debates, and knowledge-shooting sessions. We will explore the intersections of sustainable development, youth empowerment, education, technology, and social entrepreneurship. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our keynote speakers, panelists, and presenters for their valuable contributions. Your expertise, insights, and passion will undoubtedly enrich our discussions and inspire action. To our young delegates, I say your voices, ideas, and energy are crucial to shaping a more sustainable future. This conference is a platform for you to engage, learn, and network with peers and mentors. As we navigate the complexities of sustainable development, let us remember that the SDGs are not only a global agenda, but also a local imperative. Our collective actions, starting from our own commitments, can drive meaningful change. In closing, I invite you all to participate actively, share your perspectives, and engage in meaningful dialogue. Let us work together to harness the power of multidisciplinary approaches, youth empowerment, and sustainable development to create a brighter, more equitable future for all. And for that, I invite once again Mr. Vivek from Sri Lanka. Sir, over to you. Komal is also there. Komal, you want to speak something about Sir first? Please take that. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Komal, you have to unmute, beta. You need to unmute yourself first. You're muted. If ICRT can help, the host can help in unmuting Ms. Komal. Vivek, sir, you can start. We'll continue later that part. You can start with your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for your patience. So in my network issue though I had some network issues.
Sir, I just want to say something. Technology is technology. It is created by a man, but you know the skills we all possess, the teaching, the education. So we are ready for anything and everywhere. So I think technology glitch should not be come inside, and we should be there. Please start your thing.
Yeah, as we like,
You're
we
welcome.
we cannot control the technology, as you mentioned. Thank you, madam. So, madam, I just sent to the PowerPoint to the email that I got the invitation. If you can, please share the PowerPoint, I can go with that. Could you please check the email, please?
So give me 2 minutes. I'll check that. In the meantime, you can just share your.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much once again. So, you know, I'm from the Open University of Sri Lanka, from the Faculty of Education. So I have been working from there more than 10 years. So around 20 years in the higher education system of Sri Lanka. And also I'm working in different higher education and international around the world, especially I'm offering my service to the countries Nigeria, South Korea, and even India, and you know, Philippines, Indonesia, Iraq, Iran. I'm playing the role as a reviewer in various international and national level journals and research conferences and everything. So I think I have participated more than 100 international conferences as a keynote speaker and plenary speakers. So I think maybe this is more, this today's conference is more than 100. So this is about me, and especially I am specialized in the field of management, educational management, and I'm also teaching educational measurement and evaluation and statistical analysis for teachers, and especially the research education for the postgraduate students in the field of teaching. So that's about me, and that's about the
But
introduction
till
about
your
me.
PPT
So
starts, I
yeah,
just want to discuss something with you. Last week, my brother
yes, ma'am.
went to Sri Lanka. We talk about sustainable development. So this thing came into my mind. He went to Sri Lanka. There was a retreat over there. And he told me, I saw something in Sri Lanka. We talk about sustainable development. And Sri Lanka is truly an example of that. No honking, no littering. Even if somebody has to go up on the hills, the other person will wait for other person to come. That kind of understanding is there. Is it true? So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we
So the people in Sri Lanka are very family and very supportive. Especially, we are supporting a lot for the people and for the visitors who are coming from other countries, because the that annual income of the country is coming from the foreigners. Especially, I have to tell you, the tourism is one of the major factor of Sri Lankans. I mean, the Sri Lanka's income. So what the country and the government has taken the decision. Especially, I have to tell you the new government. Just before 2 months, we got a new government, and we all expected that government that the people in the government will make some changes in the country. Before that, we had so many issues in the political system of Sri Lanka, and there were so many conflicts and the confusion. And they were focusing on their personalization. I mean, the personal things, and they did not want to improve the country with fuller support. So that's why people decided to change the government, and now they have taken a person, the new person, as a president of Sri Lanka, and he's just trying to make many things in the development of the country. Especially, he's focusing on to help people who are coming from other countries. Especially, I have to tell you one thing. The new my new our the country's new president is the best visit is India. Recently he came to India and he met the respected Prime Minister of India, and after that only he planned to visit other countries, and now he's planning to go to China next week. So that's about the
another
country, and the people are
another
very.
important thing before you start, I really want to congratulate. What I got to know that we don't find beggars in Sri Lanka. So that is the quality of empowerment you're giving to your people. Truly, congratulations on that.
Yeah, now the government has taken the decision not to allow people to beg in public places, and not to disturb others, especially the foreigners and the people who are coming to visit the countries. And has decided, and they have taken those people to a place, and they are helping to them. That's
That
one
is
decision.
truly,
Right.
truly an
Okay. Thank you
example.
very much. Though
Congratulations.
I had some difficult. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, madam. Yeah.
Please,
So
sir,
now
let's
I have
start.
come
Yeah,
to
please
the
start.
slide. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. So once again, and I mean that I wanted to discuss. So the title, I'm going to discuss with you all today is I'm a person from the Faculty of Education. So I just want to share something how we can improve the quality education, really the quality in education through sustainable development. And about me, I already explained about my professional and educational background. Okay, can you move to the next slide, madam? Yeah, can you move to the next slide, madam? So the next slide, I just want to start my
Request the
presentation.
host to go to the next slide.
Yeah. So that is, I just want to start the presentation with a quotation like, if you move to the slide, you can find that inclusive and quality education is a foundation for dynamic and equitable societies. That is from the, Desmond Tutu. So from this quote, we can find and we can understand how this quality is a very important development of education. Can you, yeah, please, can you move to the slide, madam? When I say you can move to the slide, the second slide, I mean, yeah, I mean the before that, I think that's a third slide. I am asking to, yes, very much. So again, I'm telling, this is a quote from the Desmond Tutu that is, inclusive and quality education is a foundation for dynamic and equitable societies. Here from this quotation, we can understand how this inclusive and quality education is very important for the, for the development of equitable societies, right? So this, I just want to, from the quote, I just took this quote as an example based on the title that I'm going to discuss with you. Right. If I move to my next slide, I mean, you can change the slide, madam. The time we are living, now we are living in the industry 5.0. You have heard about this, industrial revolution, the time industrial revolution. People are moving forward with a different, technological development and different innovation and development after the industrial revolution in the world. So that is known as, industry 1.0. Even, we had after the 2010, I mean 2010, we had the time industry 4.0. So from that time, from the after the industry 4.0, from 2020, the time, which is known as industry 5.0. What does it mean by industry 5.0? What the time we are living now? I mean, it will last for some more years. Then after that, definitely we will move to the industry 6.0. Right. The industry 5.0 is a human robot collaboration. How we have improved our life with the support of robots. I mean, the technological, innovation and the technological high level of technological adaptations. So especially I have to tell you the cognitive system and the customization. So in our every activity, we are getting the support from the technology, especially from the robot system and the collaboration of the robots. That is the time that we are living with which is known as Industry 5.0. Right? I just want to tell the time that we are living and how we have adapted to the technology and how we are getting more benefits and how we use the technology for our development. So with that, define the term, the concept quality education. You can move to the next slide, madam. Let's define the concept quality education. By quality education, education is not a term that we normally use, emphasize the importance of it. So quality education is a concept. So that is connected with the various aspects of education. The field of education, like how we utilize this learning environment, how we use the concept, how we use the process, and how we achieve the outcome. Really, it comes to the point learner. I mean, the development of the learner, just not as concept uh, uh, to emphasize the importance of education that is connected with various aspects of the explain you learning environment, content, process, and outcomes of the learners. So this is the idea of the term quality education, and also you can understand from this picture, what does it mean by so if I move to my next slide after explaining the qualification, according to the United Nations, you can change the slide, madam. United Nations in its fourth Sustainable Development Goal. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yeah. United Nations in its fourth Sustainable Development Goal define quality education like this, achieving inclusive society, and acts as explanation of quality education from United Nations. I mean, the Sustainable Development Goal 17. Please, madam, before not this slide, before that, I mean, okay. According
I think there is some technical glitch. Mr. Vivek, are you there? So Komal, you can take over and at least share about sir.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
request Maria Benge to please mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for your gracing this event with your presence and expertise and thought-provoking, thought-provoking ideas and for deep insights. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, now I would like to uh, tell about the sir, Mr. R. Vivekanand Tharasa. Mr. R. Vivekanand Tharasa is a lecturer, Department of Secondary and Tertiary Education, Faculty of Education, the Open University, Sri Lanka. Uh, he had attended many international and national conferences, guest lectures, and workshops as a keynote speaker and resource person. He has an article editor of many international journals. He had reviewed many research papers and articles also. He had earned many awards in the category of Best Lecturer, reviewed Academic Excellence Award, received Research Leadership Award also. Uh, it was a great insights. Uh, am I audible to all?
Yes, you are audible.
Once again, thank you, sir, for your deep, insightful thoughts. Now, I would like to invite our next esteemed guest of honor is Dr. Namneet Kaur. She is a director and head educational division ICRT. She conducted 200 workshops as CBSE trainer, master trainer. He achieved many awards and participated in many national and international conferences, participated in more than 300 workshops, seminars, and conferences also. She earned Excellence Visionary Leadership Award 2021, National Educationist Award 2021, State Level Award as a Best principal 6 times, inspired educations of Punjab award for best teacher also. Now I would like to invite Dr. Navneet Kaur.
Thank you, Komal ma'am, for the formal invite. Mr. Vivek, I can see there. Mr. Vivek, do you want to conclude your speech? Because I think there was technical glitch and the PPT we are not, I think you were away from there. So if you can give the conclusions remark so that we can move forward. I really want you to
Yeah,
conclude your speech.
yeah. Thank you, madam. Giving the opportunity to the other speaker, I just want to conclude because the climate situation also in my area in Sri Lanka is not good. I'm just wanted to pass the message. My takeaway message is so for the development of sustainable development, for the improvement of sustainable development, improving the quality of education is very important. As we all are educators, we have to improve the quality of education based on the sustainable development goal number 4. Sustainable development of quality education. So it is actually with our all efforts that we have to put into the education system. We have to improve the learners, and also we have to improve as all our as educators. So especially I have to tell you the thing that we have to include in the to make the education system as quality, definitely the adaptation of technology, and also the meaning of the education for all. So we have to make the concept education for all to everyone with the adaptation of the inclusive education for the people who are actually having the all facilities to acquire the education successfully. So that is my main idea or theme of the presentation. So with that idea, I can just conclude my presentation. I mean the key point of my presentation. So thank you very much for inviting me. I hope you can hear the other presenters and you can get more ideas from the other people. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vivekanand sir. Your name itself is a big benchmark for each one of us as we are celebrating the birthday of Swami Vivekanand ji. Thank you for your
Yeah,
presence.
thank you, madam.
Greetings once again. I'm delighted to welcome you all
Thank
to
you.
this roundtable discussion. According to Triathma and UN Youth Envoy, youth are not just the future, they are the present. They are the ones who will drive the change. Sustainable development is not just about the environment, it is about the people, the planet, and the prosperity. Let us begin our first round of today's multidisciplinary approaches to sustainable developments and youth empowerment for sustainable development segment, that is introduction round. Today, we bring together experts from diverse fields, young leaders, and stakeholders. For 3 to 5 minutes, every panelist will share their insight, experience, and perspective, an overview of their work related to the SDGs and youth empowerment. So, first, I invite our first panelist, Dr. Helen K. Choi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Christ University, Bangalore, India. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, a warm good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible,
Yes,
Helen,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so a great welcome all, and I just on this auspicious day, I just want to, as ma'am have already expressed the idea behind the discussion. That's the SDG goals, basically. So I just want to talk about. Ma'am, can I proceed with my thing, my views, or ma'am, you are on mute.
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am. 5 minutes. It's first round. We are going to have 2 rounds. So
Okay.
first round is your introduction round, your expertise, your insights, share with the public, everyone.
Okay. So basically, I will give a light introduction about myself. Myself, Dr. Helen K. Joy. I'm working in Christ University, Bangalore. So I'm teaching PG students, postgraduate, and MSc AML students, that is Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning students. Uh, and the glitch or the issue that we are facing is related to technology, basically, because when I will be addressing students who are technically on a very higher side. So we as faculties, we have to be equally, because the youth, obviously we have to respect them also, same equally, like we as educators, we also have some bunch of things to share with them also. So those things, the balancing of both things will make the beauty of class. Then coming to this SDG part, aligned with the thing. So what our university basically used to follow, or what I have seen in my teaching career, is like how we can incorporate little bit more empathy towards class, or like towards the society. Basically, we have to make sure that our class have an empathy towards the society, or we have to put in their brain that after learning everything, it's not only for earning, it's for giving back to the society also. This is the theme I have in today's discussion. As ma'am mentioned, it's the birthday of Vivekananda also. So combining everything, like giving back to the society, is the part that I want to share today. So with that, I'll be giving back to ma'am. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Thank you, Dr. Helen, for the brief introduction. We'll move to our second panelist. I invite Dr. Shraddha Verma, Dean Faculty of Education, Kalinga University, Raipur, India, to share her views on today's topic.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, esteemed panelists, organizers, and participants. I am Dr. Shraddha Verma, Dean of the Faculty of Education at Kalinga University, Raipur, India. It is a privilege to contribute to the meaningful discussion on multidisciplinary approaches to achieving the sustainable development goals and empowering youth for a sustainable future. I take care of three departments, that is education, physical education, and the research in both education and physical education in my university. So I'm ready for the discussion, or should I share my points from now itself,
Yes,
as you
yes,
said?
please continue. Yeah, we want to hear your insights, your experiences, your overview, any best practices you have
Yeah. Yes,
on
yes.
this topic.
So
Yeah.
the role of education in SDG is particularly multidisciplinary education, which is the central to achieving SDG 4, which is quality education and other interconnected goals. So by integrating knowledge from diverse fields such as environmental science, economics, and social sciences, we can prepare youth to address complex challenges. Then the new education policy 2020, NEP 2020 in India is a step forward in fostering multidisciplinary learning and skills development. Then comes the youth, which is the change agent. With 1.8 billion young people globally, this demography holds immense potential to drive sustainable development. We must empower them with critical skills, critical thinking, innovative skills, and a sense of responsibility towards SDGs. Programs promoting entrepreneurship or digital literacy and leadership can help harness their creativity for societal benefits. Then some cross-cultural collaborations, like SDGs require collaboration across government, across academia, across private sectors, and then civil society. My university, that is Kalinga University, acts as hub for partnerships by involving students in research community outreach and social innovation projects. Then I would like to discuss on technology and digital tools for empowerment. So technology plays a pivotal role in achieving SDGs, especially for youth empowerment. From e-learning platforms to artificial intelligence in agriculture and healthcare, or digital solutions can bridge gaps and they can provide equal opportunities. However, ensuring inclusivity and accessibility, particularly in rural and marginalized areas, remains critical for us. So then comes the fostering of sustainable mindsets. To ensure long term impacts, we must cultivate sustainable habits and values in youths. That is the most important thing, I think. And then education should emphasize environmental consciousness, then global citizenship, and then ethical leadership. So, practical initiatives like green campus movements or community service and waste management projects can reinforce these ideas. So, I can share few examples also, which is being practiced in my university. Otherwise, I would like to conclude with
We'll
these
take in
words.
next round those examples. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Shraddha, for your valuable
yeah.
insights. Now, I
Thank
would
you.
like to invite our final and third panelist, Dr. Shalini Yadav, professor and writer, Compucom Institute of Technology and Management, Jaipur, India. Welcome, ma'am. Please, we would like to hear your thoughts also on the topic and about yourself too. Dr. Shalini.
Thank you, Navneet ma'am, for inviting me to present my ideas here. First and foremost, I would like to greet each and every dignitary present over here and all the scholars, fervent scholars. So, I'm Dr. Shalini Yadav from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and today I'm going to speak about this topic. And I would like to talk about this in a context of how we can go for green academia, because this is also one of the things which is included in whatever we are doing at global level, whatever kind of changes we want to bring. So, if I talk about my college at personal level, so what I try to do in my college when I try to teach students, I apply these type of strategies that use your head, heart, and hand, all three things, all three H's. So because if you're using your head and you are using your heart and if you're using your hand, so means collectively you're doing a lot for your society, for at first individual level, then family level, then community level, and then global level. So this is because gradually our schools and institutions, they have started positioning materialistic success at various levels, and they are keeping aside the true happiness, they are keeping aside all the moral values which we used to have earlier in the times of Plato and Aristotle, and in the times of Theosophy and Krishnamurti. All that kind of guru chela concept is not prevailing nowadays. Everybody is busy with Google thing. So that is what that I want my children to be connected first of all with their peers also, and with teachers and with family. So that is the first thing I try to aim. I try to prepare those young people not just for jobs, careers, and accumulation of wealth and physical facilities, because that is a very narrow view of life, and you can't achieve so you can't go for sustainable goals if you are just focusing on yourself as an individual. So you have to focus, you have to see that what is the broader picture, and you can't be the part of the rat race and that dog eat dog mentality. If you go for that, so definitely you maybe uh, you will deteriorate your mental health, psychological health. So I try to make them a wholesome personality and with a good character. In that way I try to tell them that be near nature, appreciate nature, touch the hearts of people, when you sleep at night, just give 2 minutes to yourself, thinking about that what you did in today's whole 12 hours, or maybe 14, 15, 16 hours. What did you do? What did you achieve? Did you help one person in that day? Or did you do something productive, or you just watched some series on your phone, or just pass your time eating something unhealthy, or you have gone for organic food or something like that. So this means that is the practical way that I try to teach them. Rest, uh, we our education policy, NEP, National Education Policy 2020, has brought many things, new things in curricula, and that has been implemented, and we are trying our best that students there should be no unhappiness in them. There should be no more suicides in the country. There should be more better development in the country. So that is my point of view, that what I wanted to share here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Achieving the SDGs require an integrated approach that brings together multiple disciplines,
Yes.
sectors, and stakeholders. Truly articulated by all the panelists in this round, one that youth are the drivers of change, and their energy, creativity, and passion are essential for achieving the SDGs. Let us move towards round two, that is question round. I'll ask one question each to every panelist to understand more deep about the concept. If from the viewers anybody has any question, they can write in chat box. The fourth round will be the question round from the chat box. So the chat box is yours till I'd ask one question each to every panelist. So my first question is for Dr. Helen on youth empowerment. I have met ma'am in Nepal, and what a personality. And you are totally an icon personality for youth empowerment. So, my question to you is, how can we balance the need for youth empowerment with the need for intergenerational collaboration and knowledge transfer? I'll repeat my question. How can we balance the need for youth environment with the need for intergenerational collaboration and knowledge transfer? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I love to address that because I am actually balancing it, even though like I handle PG class, I mean postgraduate students, the generation gap that I feel in class is like huge. So what we have to keep on learning. We will feel many a times in class like, okay, we have to go ahead them, and also like, and even though we people, like most of the people say like the young generation is like they are not up to the level, or they don't have respect and all. Keeping all that part aside, they have something so great. I used to think in a totally different way, like when I was in the age of my 17s or 18s or 20s, I was not this matured, or now they are like matured at a level like they are ready to take up things, they are ready to take up leadership role. There are many good things in them that we or our generation is not actually seeing it. We are trying to find or like add mistakes adding this technology. And one more view I used to think is like, even we in our educational time, like in our schools, colleges and all, we scored good, we were gold medalist or something, because that time we were not having this much technology support. We were not having our phones with us. I still remember when I was doing my engineering, till last year I was not having phone, because that kind of diversion was not there that time. So I had to put my whole time on that. But this people, this current generation is balancing everything very nicely. So first thing is I have respect on this generation. Adding on to that, I'll come to this topic what you have told. Like I want to approach this question by basically emphasizing the relationship that I told in the class that I used to keep between the youth and between the generation that is the other side, or the faculty that is standing out there. So obviously there will be generation gap, but there is a very fine mutual respect that we can find between them. Like if we respect them, for obviously like they also used to they also will slowly tune to our pace and try to give respect back. So I want to address this with a tiny incident happened in my class. Like soon when I started taking class for my postgraduate AI ML students, artificial intelligence and machine learning. So obviously the first class, they will have a curiosity to know how this tiny little lady is going to impress us. So they were looking at every other thing of our LinkedIn profile, where this ma'am have learned, all those things, because they all have all those details in their fingertip. After that, they will be first screening that. Then they will be asking questions to us to even from, they will be searching in Google and asking questions just to make sure that, okay, this lady is okay to manage us. But once that stage is crossed, they will be like very respectful students to us. So they just want that validation. Okay, this generation or this old or this, will they be able to handle us, or will they know things? Should I sit in and spend this much hours for her lecture? So if you are able to address that, if they feel like, okay, it's not mandatory in technical field, it is from our own other things also. If we are able to tackle their emotional situations, all those, anything with respect, if you are dealing them, it's a great thing. That's one thing one first point I want to tell, that like foster mutual respect, have empathy towards the younger generation, and teach them how to have empathy towards us. That's the first thing I want to add. The second one is we can have like mentorship program. What I have observed, many of the things what I'm talking is from my end, what I have observed. We have something in our college called mentorship. So many people, many students won't be ready to come because they are in the age of 20, 21, and some might have working and then coming back to study. So they feel like what they are going to do. But there are few, this generation, what I have observed is like they are, like their IQ is very high, but their EQ or their emotional balance is very low, because our childhood was like having not even like very smooth. We had like difficulties, we had failures, we know to tackle failures. But this one, they have many things, like they were a bit prone to that success, or we have not dragged them towards that bare failures. So like they need more emotional support, that they will not be opening up very quickly. But it's when we give our proper time or a proper mentorship to them, they will be like it will be a great ground for them to develop. The third thing that I want to address is like give opportunity to them. Like we basically, including me, we faculties will have a feel like, okay, if I am hosting something, I should have a control on that. I should not give it fully to them. But actually they are, if it believe and give them, you can use that word also, I believe and I'll give you. So that one word might be great for them to take it up fully, like, okay, ma'am have given to me, or like this person have put their trust in me, so I have to work more. So that we can give the youth or the next generation the energy to take up the leadership. But not don't drag them on like 24 hours. We don't have to be behind them, but we have to give but first thing is we have to find the correct person, and we have to give them opportunities to take up leadership.
Wonderful.
And do I have time, ma'am, or
Sure. Please continue.
Yeah. So the next thing that I want to address is like lifelong learning, that even we are doing, because now previously the generation gap was addressed by like 10 years, 20 years, something like that. Now it's like even like 2 years or 1 year itself, their language, their way of learning, everything is changing very quickly, and it is so big impact on than others. It's on us actually. We have to learn their language, we have to cooperate with them, we need to know the way they are responding, their facial expressions, everything. It is so hard for us, so we also have to be lifelong learners. Even for them also, like how to respect others, tiny things, or they also have to learn from us. So for that, the first point aligns, that is have empathy and generate that mutual relationship for that. So the next thing that I want to add is like leveraging technology basically. So for this also I wanted to add one thing. Along with me, few students were doing a project, and like we have like technology is on its high as of now. So what we can do is we can encourage them to do tiny projects. I'm not saying like everyone can do, but there are ways, even from schools, even from undergraduate, even from postgraduates, things are coming up. We cannot control them with age now, because people are doing like recently I read a news like a 16 years old girl is having a kind of 1.6 crore startup. So that is the scenario. So we can give them ideas, we can tell them to work on it, let them fail. So this is the thing actually our head used to say us, let them fail, it's okay, but at least let them try. So recently a successful thing came up. So like maybe we all might be we all will be, it will be a great help for all of us. Like we used to generate reports for all the events. So what these students have done is like we have to just upload the poster automatically, the whole and few things like who all attended, the attendance and geotag photos and all. It will generate a beautiful whole report within 1 to 2 minutes. So something like that, if we believe and give them and guide them properly, they can put their energy, I mean, into that, and they can develop things. And the beauty of the thing is like the college have taken it up as like it's an in-house project, or they are incorporating that in their system. So the last point that I wanted to end up is like the first thing that I addressed, that is giving back to the society. About taking up all the points, if we are not giving back to the society, if they are feeling like no, we don't want to take this up because it is only giving, this internship is only giving 25,000 or something like that, that should not be the strategy. So every student in my class, I used to tell them back like, maybe now you be selfish, it's okay, you grab your job, you get your things, but 1 or 2 years after that, come back freely, you go back to your school. We all might have not come from a very great society, so we all might have a village, a tiny village or tiny government school where we have studied or where our parents have studied. So I basically studied in a, even though my mom was a teacher, she had the energy or the money to put me in a school. She took me to government school only because my daughter also want to learn in that. So I always say to them like, there are options, there are way, go back to your place, go back to your school and tell them there are options, there are open ways over there. Grab them also, because we will think maybe we are sitting in this place, we will think that okay, everything is fine around us, but the thing is like no, there are places where they need our support. Maybe one person listening to us will understand that okay, this opportunity is there, I will try. Okay, so such things from our youth we have to train. We can only do that, we have to train them, put in their brain that it's not only earning money, it's not only your happiness, you have to have some percentage of your time for giving back to the society. So this should be there in the mind. As a teacher in every class, we need to tell them back, and we also have to do that also. And these are the options. It's not like you go back to your school, you go back to your circle, your village, and talk. You don't have to take back 1 rupee also for that, but you give them, give your talk, give your insight. There are people who are thinking like, who will listen to us, but there are millions of people who need our whatever we have learned. We are not great people or like Bill Gates or someone, but still people in that range, we can grab them little more up
Very,
with that. Yes. So with that note, I want to conclude my answer. Like basically empathy, giving back to the society, and have a good leadership, give to them. Like try to reduce that generation gap. Try to understand in both ways. For that, actually, we, the elder generation, have to bend a bit down and then grab them up, and then we can stand on our. Thank you so much.
beautifully,
I
Dr.
think I took
Helen.
an extra time. Sorry.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, and you are truly an example for that. To balance youth empowerment with intergeneration collaboration, we need to, create spaces for mutual learning. I totally agree. Mentorship and knowledge sharing. I'll call it delegation, but you were saying again and again. This can be achieved through initiatives like reverse mentoring, intergenerational teams, and skills transfer programs by valuing both youth energy and the senior elder wisdom. We can foster a culture of collaboration and collective growth mutually. And truly wonderful articulation by you. Kudos to you. Now I'll go to my second panelist, Dr. Shraddha, Professor, Department of English, Om Sterling Global University. Ma'am, my question is for you. This is on multidisciplinary approaches. Ma'am, are you
Yes,
there?
yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yeah. My question is, how can we break down silos and foster greater collaboration across disciplines, sectors, and industries to achieve the SDGs? I repeat my question. How can we break down silos? Silos refer to isolated or separate units, departments, or groups that operate independently. So, how can we break down silos and foster greater collaboration across disciplines, sectors, and industries to achieve the SDGs? Thank you.
Yeah. I would like to say that the previous talk of ma'am was very nice, and I can take points from her only
Sure.
that only problem which is being seen at present is communication. There is lack of communication, there is lack of understanding, there's too much of confusion, there is taking things for granted. So things are not probably getting exchanged from the two generation, maybe the teacher and the student, or the society and the university. So to collaborate, we have to have some communication or interaction, and the way we present our things should be very clear. So there must be some, like she said, slowly we should proceed. Not that just talking about positive and negative points, but there should be some feeling of belongingness also, so that we can put more proper initiatives, we can take more proper initiatives, we can put more good this thing values in our students and in our university culture. Like a few days back in my class, I said my students to just think over why we are there in this earth, why God has made us, or why we have taken birth. You just find an answer every night to this question, and automatically you'll do something nice, you'll do something good for yourself, for the society, for your parents, and everybody around you. So automatically that all the SDGs will be addressed, I think, if this feeling of belongingness is there. Like the climate action, that is the SDG 13, then the zero hunger, SDG 2, then good health and well-being, which comes under SDG 3, then affordable and clean energy, which is SDG 7, then women empowerment, that is SDG 5, then quality education, which is 4, then green campus movement like SDG 12. All these are connected with the belongingness which you have for your people, for your society, for your country, and automatically those collaborative ideas come in. Only thing is you have to just, I think, plan out in a proper way. You have to just plan out in a, it should not be a give situation, it should be a win-win situation. Like you should also enjoy that work, it should not be made compelled. You should feel responsible for everything and anything around you, and that will help you to collaborate and give good ideas and a good energy, good vibration around us, so that we can think of more beautiful ideas. It's our responsibility. This is our country, our earth, and we have to do anything to make it beautiful. So that's all from my side.
Truly, ma'am, to break down silos and foster great collaboration, we need to encourage interdisciplinary approaches. And you have
Yeah.
beautifully taken all the SDGs, wonderfully facilitated knowledge sharing and building partnerships across sectors and industries. There are many examples nowadays. Even Dr. Helen has given example of that 16-year girl. Nowadays, hackathons are there, art science collaborations are
Yes.
there, interdisciplinary
Hackathons.
research
Yeah.
grants are there.
Yes.
So many things. SDG focus incubators are there,
Incubation.
online
Yes.
collaboration platform. I think these are really a big resource for each one of us. We
Yes.
must utilize it so to make
Mhm.
this, Earth a beautiful planet, I should say. So thank
Actually.
you, Dr. Shraddha, for the wonderful answer. I'll move to the third panelist. We have with us Dr. Shalini. Shalini ma'am is there. Yes. Namaste, Shalini ma'am. My question to you is, uh, how can we ensure that sustainable development initiatives are scalable and replicable without losing their conceptual specificity? I'll repeat my question. How can we
Yes.
ensure that sustainable development initiatives are scalable and replicable without losing their contextual specificity?
Yeah, it's a very crucial thing for achieving widespread impact. And like Dr. Helen and Dr. Shraddha have already talked about this topic earlier, that means how we can touch youth for holistic growth. So first, I would like to add some more things in that when we are talking about teaching youth, and so this teaching learning process, which is to ensure holistic growth and happiness of our youth, that should follow the sharing mandala of how we can ensure greenery at first, because my focus is here on green education to achieve sustainability. So we can have various kind of greeneries, like natural greenery, social greenery, cultural greenery, intellectual, academic, aesthetic, spiritual, and moral. So we need to teach our students in that way, that how green is how we can make our surroundings green, plastic free, drug free, rubbish free, junk free, and how we can ensure social greenery by doing things together, learning how to grow together, how to build harmony and goodwill at our schools, colleges, universities. Cultural greenery, we should ensure that our culture is protected and passed on to the next generation. We should ensure that how intellectual greenery can be ensured by critical thinking and by circulating and discussing in classrooms, conference rooms, workshops, and staff rooms, offices, even in the corridors or even in the canteens. And at the same time, we should have academic greenery, imparting knowledge in a best way, listening sensitively, and thinking intelligently, analyzing things in a proper way, and interpreting. So these are the ways that how we can ensure greenery and we can make our academia green. So when we make our green academia, in a way we are ensuring happiness and survival of humanity, sustainability, universal consciousness. We are inculcating the value of universal brotherhood in our kids, in our youth, and that will have various environmental benefits in a way. So that is what even Helen Keller has tried to say, this thing that she has quoted in her work, that means alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. And we can really, we can say that we can impart lots of things in our kids related to that, and we can make them work in a peer or in a good for achieving contextual specificity. And for that, if we talk about an Indian context and a global context, Indian context, if we talk about, there are many community led initiatives which have been taken. So there we can take care of design, implementation, and how we can scale up the initiatives. There are various, like we have this Ladli Behena project. We have Self-Employed Women Association Seva in Gujarat. We have many NGOs and government agencies and private sector companies and organizations also. So there we need to, and we have many sanitation initiatives also in rural India. We should include our youth more and more in such kind of initiatives. We should make them visit over there, and we should take them there with us. Like in Rajasthan, we in Jaipur, there is one IS officer Naveen Jain, who is running the Sparsh program for students, for girls, basically for female students, so that they can know that what is good touch and bad touch. So this is also means even if you are doing some small thing, it is in a way it is trying to it is a process, or it is a strategy to achieve holistic growth of all. In a way, it is eradicating inequality, it is removing harassment from the society, and it is removing crime from the society. And if we talk about global context, there are many global frameworks and standards which can be taken into consideration to achieve sustainable development goals. There is some South cooperation thing, that where we can go for collaborations and knowledge sharing things between countries. Like there are many countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They have made one BRICS countries cooperation also for sustainable development initiatives. And there are some more common strategies which can be applied: monitoring, evaluation of things, that whatever we have achieved, how many people, communities, governments have participated, schools and institutions have participated in that. And there are we have various examples even in our country. If we take Narega, is also one of the example of that. So Make in India initiative, which was launched in 2014, PM Gati Shakti, and there are many other and these we can say that these are economic, there are economic benefits also of these, that they are cost saving things. They increase efficiency of people and mean of production, and there are more jobs created for people, and that can contribute to economic growth also. And there are various programs taken by various countries which have been you can say replicated in other countries also after that. So that is also one of the benefit, that when you know that this country is doing this thing, so if you are taking means information from there, so in a way you will save lot of things. You save your money, you save your energy, you save your time also. So and like there are some projects like Denmark's wind power program, Costa Rica's renewable energy initiatives. So though these have been taken into consideration by other countries also. Finland's education system, even we want that our NEP system is also you can say is replicated in countries like Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. So there are various programs which are replicated, and these have the, and many initiatives have the um, potential for scalable and replicable solutions to address these global challenges, and to achieve the goals in future also.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Shalini,
you.
for the wonderful answer. To ensure scalability and replicability, initiatives should conduct thorough contextual analysis, involve what you said, local stakeholders, involvement of more and more people, and design for adaptability. You have given so many examples. One example is coming in my mind, Barak's microfinance program in Bangladesh. It was successful
Yes.
because it understood the local context and involved local stakeholders, making it scalable and replicable. So it's very important when you make other people involved in that, and a lot of mindsets, a lot of minds are working over there, and a lot of great progress come. Thank you so much, ma'am. I promise that I'll take one question from the chat box. So I've selected the question from Taiwo Tonglozu. With the level of any of the speaker can take this question. With the level of dropout among the youths in developing countries due to their mindset that education is a scam, what can the developed countries do to assist in bringing back the youths to school in order to address the increase in social vices among the youths? See, brain drain is a big problem. We all know that. That's why I've chosen this question. I'll repeat the question. With the level of dropouts among the youths in developing countries due to their mindset that education is a scam, what can the developed countries do to assist in bringing back the youths to the school in order to address the increase in social vices among the youth? I have 10 minutes, so I'll request all the panelists quickly in just 4 to 5 lines, if everybody can share their views on this. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, I'll take this opportunity to
Yes,
start
Shraddha
here.
ma'am. Yeah, please.
Like the question is, if I put it in a simple words, the solution to dropouts.
Yes.
Okay, so the solution is, I'll take a movie dialogue which was from Hitchki, that no student is wrong, but the teachers are wrong. So if that means the method of teaching should be worked on, if we make, first thing is, if we make the student feel important, like everybody is important and everybody is special, should be the message by the teacher, so that the student feel like coming. Just giving midday meals or cycle Saraswati cycle yojana or some yojanas like this won't solve the problem unless and until there's some emotional attachment. We come to home because we have some attachment. Otherwise, there are so many other things to walk around. Okay, so I think first thing, make our students feel special. They are invited to that place, and then the method of teaching, it should vary with the individual difference of the class. Not that I know lecture method, so that is the best method. I should go for a method which is suitable for my students. The method should be a learning method and not a teaching method. I should not teach, but I should make the student learn, make them learn to learn. Okay, so I think these 2 points, just making them feel special and welcomed to the place, feel them, make them feel important at any age. We usually go and address the pre-primary, primary scale and leave about the college and university students. What I feel these days are, there's so much in pressure from everybody, their parents, their peers, the society. So I think they should first be welcomed, respected, and they should be feel important. Automatically, things work out. Like I see the number of students in the university where you have their option of bunking classes or lectures. You can just walk away from the period whenever you want. You can come in the class whenever you want, just because you are grown up and we have no choice. We can't make them sit forcefully in the class. So I have to work on the methods I use to teach or explain my students, and that will automatically reduce the dropout rates. Then comes the evaluation pattern. The way we are teaching and the way we are evaluating our students are two different, totally different aspects. We are giving them grading system and all those things, and these grades are not required when we go for a job or a placement agency. They go for again percentage. So there is a confusion in the mind of the students, what actually is going on, what we have to do to just come or fulfill our dreams or our parents dream and all those things. So less of confusion and more of importance will surely solve these dropout rates.
Very true, Dr. Shraddha. First thing, we need to value them. They must
Yeah.
be valued. They must be
Yes.
welcomed. Then only they will do. And for evaluation, I think what you have added on, new education policy is beautifully articulated. You know, the things now the
Mm.
assessment will be on competency based. So they need
Yes.
to work on their skills. They need to work on their competencies. That is why
Hmm.
systems have been changed. I think that is beautifully articulated. Any other panelists want to add on something on this? Or I have 5 minutes, I can take another question. Anybody wants to add on? I think Dr. Helen wants to say something. Yes,
So
please,
I
ma'am.
want to add on to her point only. The first point even that came to my mind is that they should feel valued. So I'm not, I mean, elaborating that point. I just want to add a point that because that's the first thing. The child should feel to come to us. The second thing is like what we need to transform as a teacher. Like this was my senior or my head asked me like if it is your child sitting for, so we were taking up an interview and the child was literally not able to, not the child actually, he was a 20 plus age, he was not able to address the things properly. So I was like, why? Then he was like, see, you come little bit down and you think that you are the mother of the child and how you would handle, so you give little bit comfortable space for them. Don't think like, okay, I have 5 minutes of time, I have to address all the technical side of them. No, leave it, give 2 minutes, give time for him, have like give bit time. And then, so the thing that he put in my brain was, everybody who is sitting in front of me is my child, so I have to tackle them like that, so I should not take them as students. So that's the change that we as teachers, we need to take up. That's our responsibility. That will reduce the issue that it is addressed. Then technical development, that is also from our side. Many of the things we have to transform, because they have not studied like us. We have studied like 1 1 1 2 3, like they are seeing, touching, learning, visualizing more. So they expect the class to be like that. We orally go talk to them, they won't be interested at all, because they are not seeing that all the 24 hours. So we have to change our style of addressing them with other things. So for that, we have to technically develop, we have to come up with new methods
Very
how
true.
to
So we
attract
have
them.
to change our styles according to the learner's capability,
Exactly.
understandability.
Yes, because they are more on now on technical sides, or like doable. There are different categories of students. That part I think you people will be knowing more than me. But I just want to have on a normal side, like we have to satisfy them. Just for movie, nobody is forcing them to sit and listen, right? So we have to make our class like that movie, that interesting, so that that 1 hour they will be listening to us. That is the
Very true.
magic that's in our hand. For that, we have to literally work a lot. So that maybe we have to from our side only. The last point is actually
We'll
uh,
conclude, ma'am. We'll conclude here,
yeah, yeah.
please.
We need to the last point is, we need to touch their heart, like heartfully they need to do things. That's it from my side. Thank you.
So the classes needs to be inquiry based. That will be a better solution. So today's discussion has shown us that together we can achieve greatness. As we conclude, I leave you with the inspiring words of Swami Vivekananda ji. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Let us continue to strive towards a brighter future, empowered by our collective efforts and commitment to creativity, a better world for all. And now, moving to the most important part of the segment of today's souvenir. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all authors, reviewers, and editors who have contributed to this book. This book of abstracts represent the culmination of a shared passion and commitment to advancing knowledge and understanding in education, research, and training. I hope this book will serve as a valuable resource for scholars, practitioners, and policymakers and inspire further research and collaboration. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to release the conference proceedings book, Souvenir, on behalf of ICERT and Teachers Training College, Bhagalpur, Bihar. Thank you once again to everyone involved in this project, especially Team ICERT core group members, Secretary Dr. Sandeep Sehag, and the team of Teachers Training College, Bhagalpur, Bihar. Please join me in celebrating the release of this conference proceeding books. Namaste. Over to Komal Garg.
Thank you, ma'am. On the behalf of all the participants, the guests, the keynote speakers, the organizing committee, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Navneet Kaur for sharing your expertise with us today and gracing this event with your presence and expertise, and for your invaluable contribution to this conference. We look forward to the opportunity to learn from you again in the future. We greatly appreciate the time and efforts you took to be with us today to inaugurate this conference and share her invaluable insights. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now it is time to declare India Youth Icon Award 2025. And it is my great honor to present this award. India Youth Icon Award 2025 is a tribute to those individuals who have demonstrated exceptional talent, commitment, and passion. Our first researcher who got India Youth Icon Award is Dr. Harsha. Dr. Harsha.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulate Dr. Harsha, Assistant Professor, Commerce and Accountancy Department. Our next researcher who got India Youth Icon Award is Mr. Ghansham. Mr. Ghansham, President Shri P.D. Malviya College of Commerce, Rajkot, Gujarat. Mr. Ghansham, congratulate to you. Now let's move to the next researcher who got India Youth Icon Award is Dr. Gaurav Solanki. Dr. Gaurav Solanki, Associate Professor, Innovative Institutes of Law. Next we have is the Mr. Manoj Kumar. Mr. Manoj Kumar, who got India Youth Icon Award 2025. Next we have is the Mr. Jadhav. Mr. Sandeep Jadhav, BA Political Science, Nizam College Autonomous, Osmania University. Congratulate Mr. Sandeep Yadav. Next we have is the Miss Kodi Paka. Miss Kodi Paka, BA Honors Economics, Nizam College Autonomous, Osmania University. Next we have is the Mrs. Dimple Juneja. Mrs. Dimple Juneja.
Good evening, ma'am.
Mr. Dimple Juneja.
Yes, ma'am. Me Dimple Juneja, research scholar from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur. Thanks for providing me this prestigious award on the special day. Thanks, ma'am.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank
Next
you.
we have is the Miss Parul Tomar. Next we have is the Miss Parul Tomar who got India Youth Icon Award 2025. Congratulate Miss Parul Tomar. Next we have is the Mr. Jayavardhan. Next we have is the Mr. Jayavardhan who got India Youth Icon Award 2025. Next we have is the Dr. Shri Vidya.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Congratulate, ma'am.
Thank
Next
you.
we have is the Dr. Nujat Fatima. Dr. Fatima who got India Youth Icon Award 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Dr. Fatima.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next we have is the
Thank
Dr.
you.
Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee. Next we have is the Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, Associate Professor and Head of Department of Education, DIC of Sociology and Anthropology. Congratulations, ma'am. Next we have is the Dr. Kumari Premlata. Dr. Kumari Premlata, who got India Youth Icon Award 2025. Next we have is the Dr. Shrishti. Dr. Shrishti, who got India Youth Icon Award 2025.
Thank you so much.
I think this was the last. Now on the behalf
Thank you, ma'am.
on the behalf of present today, I extend our heart to congratulate to all of you. You are not just an icon, but a true role model for the youth of India. We are all incredibly proud of you. Thank you, and may your journey continue to inspire us all. Once
Komal ma'am.
again, congratulations to all.
Hello. Komal ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
3 more awardees are there.
Okay, okay. Dr. Sangeeta. Dr. Sangeeta also got Youth India Icon Award. Please show the next one also.
Yes, ma'am. Shrikant.
Mr. Shrikant also got India Youth Icon Award 2025. And Mr. Saket Bihari also got the Indian Youth Icon Award 2025. Again, I would like to congratulate to all of you to got a Indian Youth Icon Award. You are not just an icon but a true role model for the youth of India. We all are incredibly proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Saket Bihari for the vote of thanks to honorable dignitaries. Mr. Saket Bihari, now over to
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Good evening to all present here. Ma'am, I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. I, Saget Bihari, Assistant Professor at Teachers Training College, Bhagalpur, Bihar, feel privileged to stand before you to extend a sincere vote of thanks to all who have contributed to the success of this meaningful part of event. Let me begin by thanking our honorable dignitaries and esteemed guests who presented here today and had added immense values to this gathering. First and foremost, a special thank to you to Dr. Saima Parvez, Executive Director of Publication Relation at ICRT. Then I extend my heartful thanks to our honorable guest of honor and conference chair, Dr. Navneet Kaur ma'am, for not only guiding us with her wisdom but also spreading the roundtable discussion on the multidisciplinary approaches to sustainable development. Your dedication to youth empowerment and your practical insights have given us much to reflect. And again, I would like to thank our deepest gratitude goes to our keynote speaker, Mr. Ravithiran Vivekanand Tharasha, whose insight on education in today interconnected world were both enlightening and thought-provoking. You reminded us the transformative power of education, and your vision has inspired all of us to aim higher. Thank you, sir. And our round table session was made extraordinary by the wonderful contribution of trio, Dr. Helen K. Joy, Dr. Shraddha Verma, and Dr. Salini Yadav, who share diverse perspectives on the important theme of sustainability. Your expertise and the passion with which you shared your knowledge will stay with us for a long time. Some critical question which have been answered, that is cultural identity, scalability and replicability, nature of the sustainable development initiatives, and level of dropout among the youth. These were the critical question, and very smartly these questions were elaborated. A big thank you to Mr. Komal Gaur, our conference coordinator, whose tireless effort ensured the events ran smoothly. And of course, thanks to all the chairperson and coordinator in advance for the upcoming technical session, whose leadership and support will keep the program and the structure engaging in the upcoming plenary session. To our technical team, volunteers, organizing committee, you are really thanks. And I also thank all the Youth Icon awardees, including me also, for this event. And you are such a grateful events as you are selected for this award. And I would like to thank Navneet Kaur again for the releasing of the conference proceeding book. And I hope the complete book will be released after the conference in the proceeding. Last but not least, I heartful thank for our audience. Whether attending the person or virtually, your enthusiasm and attention have already made this gathering truly special. It is your presence and support that give meaning to all the efforts. As we move into the technical session, I encourage everyone to engage, share ideas, and make the most of this opportunity to learn from one another. Together, let us strive the building of brighter, more sustainable future. Once again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. May we continue to grow, collaborate, and create positive impact. And I conclude my vote of thanks with the line of Vivekananda, Utishtat, Jagrat, Prapya Varani Bodhat. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now we are open for the technical session. Now it is a request to all the chairperson and the technical coordinators. Please carry on the technical session.
Thank you, ma'am. May I know Dr. Priyanka Singla has joined us?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Kaushal Chauhan. I'm working as a librarian at MDSD College, Ambala City. I am your session coordinator today. I welcome you all in this international multidisciplinary conference on multidisciplinary approaches to SDGs and youth empowerment for sustainable development. I am happy to share with you all that this session will be chaired by Dr. Priyanka Singla. Dr. Priyanka Singla is presently working as an associate professor of English at Government College for Women, Hisar, Haryana. She has teaching experience of more than 18 years. She has published several articles, book chapters at national, international level. She has authored and edited several books on her research areas. She has also presented several research papers in various national, international conferences and seminars. With due respect, I invite you, ma'am, to call the paper presenters to present their papers.
Yeah, ma'am. I will be happy if you can also continue with it. But let me at least start it, and afterwards you can also please continue with it.
Yes,
Uh,
sure, ma'am.
I would like to invite our first speaker, Mr. Sule Mohammed, to please come to this online platform and please share your valuable ideas on your title presentation, Education as a Tool for Youth Empowerment and Sustainable Development in Nigeria. Welcome, sir.
Good evening to you all. My topic is education as a tool for the youth empowerment and sustainable development in Nigeria. Education is widely recognized as a powerful tool for youth empowerment and sustainable development, particularly in developing nations like Nigeria. It equips youth with the skills, knowledge, values necessary in a rapidly changing world by enabling them to contribute meaningful to the communities and nations' progress. Education serves as a driver of sustainable development by addressing key United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, including quality education, that is sustainable development number 4, gender equality, number 5, and the rest. Youth empowerment refers to the process of equipping youth in the knowledge, skills, resources, and opportunity they need to take control of their lives, to make informed decisions, and to contribute meaningfully to their communities and the society. It involves fostering their confidence, self-reliance, and the ability to influence positive change in their personal lives and the broader social, economic, and the political context. Youth empowerment is a process whereby young people are encouraged to take charge of their lives by addressing the situations and taking action to improve access to resources, skills, opportunities for their development. There is role of a youth in the sustainable development. One of the roles of youth in sustainable development is, number 1, that is advocacy and awareness. Youth are instruments of spreading awareness about sustainability issues like climate changes, inequality, environmental degradation. Number 2, entrepreneurship and innovation. Young people are often lead to creating innovative solutions to social changes, such as renewable energy projects, waste management initiatives, sustainable agricultural practices. Number 3, community development. Many youth are volunteering and community services, addressing local changes like poverty, education, healthcare delivery. Number 4, policy advocacy and leadership. Youth participate in governments and the policy-making process, advocating for laws and the policies that support sustainable development, educating and the capacity building. As educator and the role model, young people contribute to spreading knowledge and the skills needed for sustainable living in society. Environmental conservation, technological advancement, and cultural changes in the society. Then sustainable development. Sustainable development is the process of meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own demand, or to meet their own needs. Sustainable development is a pursuit of development that balances the need of people and the planet and the profit to ensure that future generations can meet their needs. It involves balancing approach that promotes economic growth, social inclusion, environmental protection, and ensuring long-term well-being and the preservation of natural resources and ecosystem for future generations. And sustainable development goals. We have about 17 sustainable development goals, which was outlined and identified by United Nations. Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 intercontinental goals established by the United Nations in 2015, in the year 2015, as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. These goals are to address the global changes, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice, and ensuring a better and sustainable future for all youth and people in the world. So Sustainable Development Goals number 1, that is zero poverty. That is to end hunger and achieve food security and improving nutrition and to promote sustainable agriculture. Goal number 2, that is good zero hunger. The first goal is zero poverty. Second one is zero hunger. That is to end hunger and achieve food security. Number 3, health and well-being. Ensuring healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. Number 4, quality education. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote long life learning opportunities. Number 5, that is gender equality. To achieve gender equality, empower all women and girls in any given society. Number 6, clean water and sanitation. Ensure availability and the sustainable management of water and sanitation for all people in the society. Number 7, affordable and clean energy.
Excuse me, sir. Due to paucity of time, I would humbly request you to please kindly conclude your presentation, because we have other presenters also, and there's shortage of time. Sorry.
Thank you, ma'am. In conclusion, education remains as indispensable for tools for the youth empowerment and sustainable development in Nigeria. It keeps youth individual with the knowledge, skills, attitude, and the social cohesion and the environmental sustainability. It empowers youth through education to ensure their active participation in the national development and to foster innovative and to promote equality in the society. Then suggestion, or I said recommendation. The young government should prioritize education funding by exceeding the UNESCO recommendation of 20% of the national budget. That is adequate funding will support the construction of essential infrastructure, provision of learning materials, and other better remuneration for teachers to ensure a more effective educational system in Nigeria. Secondly, education stakeholders should address disparities in educational access between urban and rural areas. The government should invest in building and renovating schools in rural areas. Number 3, Nigeria should implement comprehensive teacher training program to improve the quality of education. Number 4, Nigerian curriculum should meet the demand of the 21st century workforce to emphasize digital literacy, vocational training, and entrepreneurship education. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Dr. Chauhan to please proceed with further list of participants. Dr. Chauhan.
Sure, ma'am. Now we have Ms. Parul Tomar, Sustainability of Organizations During Post-COVID Pandemic. Ms. Parul?
Ma'am, I think you have missed serial number 2.
Yes, serial number 2, Ahmadu Jacob.
Ahmadu Jacob Saibu. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Can I share my screen, please? I want to share my screen, please. Am I audible? Am I audible, please?
Yes, audible.
Okay. I want to share my screen, please. Please, I want to share my screen. I'm coming.
Sir, I think there is an option of share.
Share my screen. Am I audible, please?
Yes, you are audible.
Is my screen visible? Okay. I'm Ahmadu Jacob Shaibu. I'm presenting this paper with Ambassador Mary Ayengbe, and the topic of our discussion of this paper is effect of discussion method and demonstration methods on student achievement in map reading skill in senior secondary school in Kano, Nigeria. As introduction, map reading is an essential skills that enable individuals to interpret and negotiate through geographical information effectively. The acquisition of map skill is crucial for students to understand and analyze partial relationship, partner, and trend. And looking at this topic, we are talking about discussion method. What do we mean by discussion method? Discussion method is involving and engaging students actively conversations and debate about map concept and techniques. And this method encourages active participation, critical thinking, collaborating among students, which will enhance their understanding and retention of map reading skill. I want to talk about demonstration method. In demonstration method, it involves showing students how to read and interpret map through practical example, exercises, and this method allows students to observe and learn from real life applications, which will aid them and make them to comprehend and have retentive memory. For any sustainable development, for any child to have a good skill, teachers should use this method. As a result of this, objective of the studies. The objective of the study are 3. Number 1, the effective use, to determine the effective use using discussion method of teaching student achievement in map reading. To determine the effect of using demonstration method in teaching on student achievement in map reading. And the third one, to determine if there is any significant difference in achieving map reading when students are taught with demonstration method and discussion method. And as a result of that, a researcher posed 3 hypotheses. And the hypothesis is in connection with the objective. Because of our time, I will not go through that. Now, there is methodology. What method that the researchers use? Number one, we use quasi-experimental design with pre-test and post-test for both groups. That is the discussion method and the demonstration method. And the study utilized a sample of 200 senior secondary school students from 10 different schools, which were used in the studies. And the instrument for the data collection was geographical map reading test. And this instrument was validated by the expert. And not only that, the Chromba alpha were also used in order to determine the reliability of the instrument. And the instrument for the data collection was administered 2 times at different intervals within the 6 weeks, which is for the protest before the treatment and also for the post-test after the instrument. And the data were analyzed, which is the data we have collected, were analyzed in order to test the hypothesis using peers t-test and independent variable t-test at 0.0 level of significance. And what is the result of the result now? The result of the finding from this study is, number one, the result revealed that there is a significant difference in the mean achievement score of the student for pre-test and post-test when taught with discussion method of teaching or map reading. The result of the study shows that discussion method has a positive effect on student achievement in map reading. Number two, the study also indicates that there is a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test when students were taught with demonstration method, which demonstration method has a greater impact on the student learning, which we should be utilized. And number three, we saw that there is no significant difference between these 2 methods that were used, which is demonstration method and discussion method. Means the 2 methods has greater effect on student understanding of math concept, which enable them to perform better on map reading assessment. So these methods are of very significant. Now, in conclusion, the discussion method and this demonstration method has been shown to have a positive effect on student academic achievement in map reading skill in senior secondary school in Kano State, Nigeria. This method promotes active learning, critical thinking, collaborating among students, which enhance their understanding and retentions on map reading concept and techniques. And as a result of that, recommendations were made from the finding. One of the recommendations that all educators in Kano State and other regions should consider incorporating discussion and demonstration method into the teaching practice to improve student academic or map reading abilities and overall academic performance. Also, Educational planner should also use this method of teaching to find more appropriate method to be used in teaching and learning process. Further research also should be conducted to investigate the impact of the method on other subjects in different contexts, either in Nigeria or other country that this. And if this thing will be done, all this sustainable development to empower students, we will be able to empower them to become successful in life. Thank you. Happy listening.
Now, Ms. Parul Tomar, Sustainability of Organizations During Post-Pandemic. Ms. Parul Tomar.
Parul ma'am, if you have not made the PPT, then we don't need to see your paper. You can go ahead with audio presentation also. If you have not made the PPT and you are going to show only the paper, then you can go ahead with the audio part of your paper also. Because we have other participants also who are waiting for their presentation. No, ma'am, you are not audible. Only your screen is visible, which you are sharing right now. Ma'am, I think you have not unmuted yourself. Unmute yourself. Okay. Parul ma'am seems to have some technical glitch from her side. I would suggest that she should rejoin this session through the link given again. And meanwhile, Madam Chauhan, you can go ahead with the next participant. Let her join again. Parul ma'am, you are not audible. Please join again and just go ahead with the next participant.
Next participant is Mrs. Pooja Shehrawat. Dr. Megha. Mrs. Pooja Shehrawat.
Good evening, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Because of shortage of time, I'm only giving my presentation in audio mode. Is it okay?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So the topic of my presentation is the impact of interest rates on the stock market. So first of all, we need to know the meaning of the interest rate. So the interest rate is the cost of borrowing money and the return on lending money. So what is the cost of borrowing and what is we will get in return by lending money is the interest rate. It plays a crucial role in the economy because it influences consumer and business spending, investment decisions, and also inflation. So these interest rates are determined by the central banks like RBI in India. the interest rates have both effects, like direct and indirect effect. Direct effect is in the cost of borrowing, because when the interest rate goes on increasing and increasing, the cost of borrowing something through loan or other methods is also increasing. The indirect effect is it reduce the consumer and business spending, because when the money becoming inflated because of interest rate, we decline our spendings as a consumer as well as a business person. So when we talk about the stock market, the effect of interest rate on bond prices. So the relationship between interest rate and the bond price is inverse, is negative, because I can explain it with an example. When RBI, the Central Bank of India, increase the interest rate, it attracts the other methods of lending money, like FD, fixed deposits. So when the interest rate increase, it attracts more bank deposit like FD, and people withdraw their money from stock market and invest their money in FD, fixed deposits. So when RBI increase the interest rate, bond price fall. Next, when RBI decrease the interest rate, so people get low interest rate from the banks. So they withdraw their money from the banks and invest this in the stock market. So when the interest rate decreases, the bond prices increases. This show how interest rate impact the bond prices. Now, how an investor mitigate this problem? So I can suggest three solutions for the problem. First is diversification. By making a portfolio of different securities, like stock market securities, also there is other securities like debt instrument, equity instrument, or hybrid instrument. So we should invest our money in different these financial financial stocks and bonds, other assets. Second, we can also consider other investment opportunities like real estate, commodities. So and the last, I can recommend the regular monitoring and rebalancing of the portfolio we have made earlier. So by choosing these three alternatives, we can minimize our risk and maximize our return on the investment in the stock market. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Gohar Rashid Jaini. Gohar Rashid.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Just 1 second, I am sharing my screen. Okay, is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So once again, good evening to all, especially to ICRT, who has organized this wonderful conference and provided me an opportunity to present my research paper on this beautiful occasion. So as you see from the screen, the title of my research paper is Safety Net or Diversion, Decoding the Duality of Vocational Education and Training in India. So basically, what I meant by safety net or diversion. So when we talk of, vocational education and training, so we always think about that it is a kind of education which is job specific, occupation related, which prepares an individual or a student for a kind of occupation that are, highly demanded in the labor market. Or we can say it is a kind of education in which one individual or a student receives a kind of training that is related to, jobs and occupations that are required in the industries in different kind of firms. So when we say safety net function of vocational education and training, we are basically saying that vocational education and training has a capacity that if an individual is interested to earn labor market returns at an early age, he can choose that side of education. And another important point is that it assures that an individual, after completing compulsory schooling, if he wants to enter the labor market, he will, get into kind of occupations that are not unskilled. Because in a country like India, we see majority of the people who are joining the labor force, they are, joining it without productive skills. And as a result, the kind of production or the kind of wages they are getting, they are very low. But when we see at the second or other perspective, diversion effect of vocational education and training, there are huge number of scholars, especially scholars who are from, understanding the concept of inequality, equality, inclusion, exclusion practices in education. They are, claiming that the choice of vocational education is diverting the student from mainstream education. And at the same time, when they are diverted from mainstream education, it limits their chances of getting the prestigious or elite occupations. And this kind of mechanism leads to intergenerational social mobility. So this is a kind of picture that is discussed, debated at now currently throughout different countries of the world. So I try to examine this situation in the context of India, since we are promoting vocational education of training nowadays, or in other words, skill education. And whenever we hear the name of this, we always perceive that it is something, positively perceive it. But there is a, in this study, I try to examine it from both perspectives, that how far it is promoting the jobs, the returns, the wages of individuals, and at the same time, how far it is actually diverting a particular section of students from mainstream education towards the path which is not, returns or the gains or monetary gains to the path of education are comparatively too low as compared to the children or the families who send their children in professional education. So to answer this question, I have gone, basically utilize it two sources of data. One is secondary, National Sample Survey Organization, different kind of data, periodic labor force surveys, economic surveys, and tracer studies of those who are going into vocational education, what they are doing after completing that, in what kind of jobs they are. Different kind of studies have been conducted on that. I have consulted all those studies. And at the same time, I have conducted this primary interview of 11 students who are, enrolled in vocational education courses in ITIs or polytechnic colleges, their parents. Similarly, at the same time, I have interviewed employers who are hiring, have a great expertise in hiring people with different qualifications, as well as the policy experts who at the national level are framing different kind of policies. And all these this second part of data was analyzed through qualitative analysis. Then to keep in mind the shortage of time, I have kept it very precise. I am directly focusing on the findings which I have identified or observed in my research. So I have observed that, or through our study has identified, found that both safety net and as well as the diversion effect of vocational education exists in India. But the issue is that safety net is very poor, and at the same time, the diversion effect is very strong in the context of India. The secondary sources of data, they show that most of the people who are completing the vocational education and training, they remain unemployed, or they end up in self-employment. So the labor market returns, even if they are getting it, the wages are very low, because most of the time vocational education and training, it is preparing the individual for the kind of jobs which we call mostly blue collar jobs, the jobs which are not, if I say, well respected in the society. And even from the perspective of the employers whom I interviewed, they were of the opinion that when we hire people, so anyone who has vocational education, so it gives, if we remember a concept of signaling hypothesis in economics, that our qualification, our degrees, it gives a signal to the employer when we hire it. So if a person has any special degree or a professional degree from a reputed institution, so from the beginning, it signals the employer that the individual is academically or cognitive development is higher, he is academically higher. But when we the kind of perception, the kind of public image in the society is something different. So when they hire people, if one has obtained the vocational education, it gives them a signal that the individual has an underachiever or is a low aptitude. So these employers, they prefer to hire the student from who have graduated from IITs than comparatively to ITIs. And from policy perspective, when we, there is a kind of that vocational education training, we say that is good. But when it comes to our children, then there is a kind of doubt that how far we are encouraging our children to send them in these kind of schools. And the another important aspect is the diversion effect of vocational education training.
Sir,
It is very.
can you please conclude it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. So the diversion effect is that is already I said that it largely attracts students from low socioeconomic families, and those who are going into vocational education and training, they hardly prefer to continue there or go for higher studies. The mechanism is perhaps because they are people who are from financially weak families. They are trying to get as soon as possible in the labor market, earn and support for their families. So what I want to, in conclusion or at the end of the slide, basically there are different kind of problems we are facing. We have a different poor labor market returns, and one of the important point is that the involvement of industry in our academia and employers who will design and frame the kind of curriculum or courses that are highly demanded in the labor market. So at the end, I just want to say we have to, if we want to make it really the choice of, aspirational choice, then we have to include or integrate it within the mainstream education, and we just not think it is a kind of vocational or a kind of hobby or a kind of optional, but we have to mainstream it. Besides, we have to, at the end, I just want to say we have to promote or make the safety net function of vet very stronger, but at the same time it is diversion effect. We have to focus or fine tuning of current policies that the diversion effect becomes weak. Thank you, that's what I want to say. Thank you, Sral.
Mr. Abdul Rahim Abdullah Kim Oluwani Sola.
Yeah,
Unlocking
thank you.
student potential.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Am I
audible.
audible? All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My topic or the title of the paper I actually have to present, it's Unlocking Student Potential, an exploration of a Z to A approach as a means of empowering business education students in colleges of education in Nigeria, precisely in Benue State, my college where I lecture. Yes, I quite understand that it is vivid that innovation teaching approach has become a present issue in business education. And why did I say that business education? Because business education as a course, it's embroadened. And of course, this is what all other courses actually revolves around. Because even you see that even one picking a course at the end of the day, will still come back to business because he or she actually want to start his own business. So we still come to the elements of actually picking a course or a diploma in a business education. And that's why I choose that to actually see on how to actually better the lot of the students who are managers in that area. Yes, and as an educator, actually we all try to unlock our students' potential. So for them to reach their goal and achievements while empowering them. So it is quite understandable that innovative approach called Z to A, which I have picked as an instrument. Z there, I take it to be a zeal to action. So when the zeal is there, definitely the student will actually have action in their respective area. Yes, Z to A teaching approach is again a reverse learning. We should understand that it's a method that we start with the end goal or outcome and works backward to the foundation knowledge or principle. It's sometimes regarded as a meta language. Now, when we talk about meta language, this is actually related to one of the core courses in business education, which everyone who actually wants to empower him or herself financially and, of course, financial knowledge. This is accounting. Accounting is believed to be the language of a business, the language of a business. Why? We should acquire to understand that identify the teaching approach in accounting area will enable one to actually identify the root causes of whatever may happen in a business, because at the end of the day, whatever we do actually ends in a financial record. So getting the student to actually reach this area, or actually bring my research to, get to understand where the problem actually lies. Yes, it was read that a number of teaching approaches, however, exploring students to Z to A approach, teaching strategy improves student potential and performance, of course. As it is said by some of the writer in the past, Idris Babagana, Mohammed Saliu, and Abdurrahman, 2015, supported the idea that Z to A approach is a zeal to action, that is unlocking student potential, and it means to empowering the knowledge wise, or knowledge wise means to say. So on this respect, I try to actually works on our research question on how to actually get to find out the problem about what impacts or in the part of the Z to A approach on business education students performance, how the student actually factor impact how do students actually factors impact the effectiveness of a Z to A approach, and what essential components of Z to A framework that is actually needed. So I actually went to actually look for the objective, at least to actually get to ensure that these students are empowered, reaching or looking at the objective of why one is even doing that. This is to investigate the difference in academic performance between business education students who receive instruction using a Z to A approach and those who receive the traditional instruction. I'm a teacher of accounting, I'm a lecturer, and over the time I've got to understand that an best ideal for actually student, because this student actually has their potential, and it's for us to actually bring the potential out. We need to start it from the beginning, or start from the end, needs to say. That is from the area where we feel it is so hard for them, and bringing it down to the most simplest part. Yes, it is quite understandable again that looking at my title as a whole for better understanding as Z2A teaching approach, this is the independent variable whose effect is being investigated on the dependent variable, that is a business education student empowerment. I have a view or call to a lot of theoretical view, bring out some of the conceptual, and of course reach out to the theoretical, at least looking at the previous knowledge to see if we have problem, that problem actually been solved in the past, and the idea other people actually that have it. So ideally, I try to actually look the gap. The gap actually I looked at is the following the various literature review. I will follow them. The gap recorded include the absence of a Z to A approach as a means of empowering a business education student in colleges of education. So I recorded that gap. So the research designer actually that used is a quasi-experimental and survey research design. The sampling strategy include selecting sample college of education located in the state where I work. The mean and standard deviation was actually used to actually carry out to actually bring out the result. And my data actually the structure of questionnaire was actually the one used, and this is actually analyzed or based on the procedure, pairing a sample t-test to use to test the null hypothesis respectively. And on that, I was able to actually get the following results. First one, on the first question, that is what is the impact of Z Z2A approach on business education student academic performance. Yes, the finding actually read that the Z2A approach mean, which I recorded of 85.2 and the standard deviation of 5.1, while the transitional instruction idea or method, that's the whole method of starting from A, B, C instead of a Z to A. Yes, I got 78.5 and the standard deviation was actually a 6.2. The second question actually, I read the like. The third question also on the finding, teachers are training. The mean importance rating was a 4.5 on the 5-point scale, while the standard deviation is a 0.6 with component student support. That is the mean importance ratio. And data interpretation was actually read for me to actually get to the conclusion on what's the needful of actually employing this procedure for the student to actually get it right. Yes, the study was, in summary, the study was concluded to evaluate the effectiveness of a Z2A approach and innovative instruction method on business education of students' academic performance. So using mixed method approach, the study actually compared an experimental group using Z2A approach to a controlled group using transitional instruction, like I said before. Now, the results show that the student in the experimental group had a significant higher mean academic performance of 85.2, like I mentioned, compared to the control group, which is what, 78.5. So additionally, higher student motivation was found to correlate with better academic performance outcome in Z2A approach. So the study also identified the teacher training and student support as an essential component of the Z2A framework. So in conclusion, the Z2A approach is an effective instruction method that significantly enhances business education student academic performance, particularly when students are motivated. When they are motivated, of course, and that the teachers training and student support are actually provided. So I have the following recommendation, which are to support my finding and my argument that the study, my study actually recommend the adoption of a Z2A teaching approach, not even only in business education, but other aspects or area of a study nationwide and all over the world. Believe it, just to tap the potential of these students and bring them back and for them to actually be empowered on what they need to actually survive and be self-reliance and even develop the organization and actually get it right in terms of sustainable development. And it need to provide a more teacher training. And finally, advice to create a student-centered learning environment, foster a student autonomy, and ask for development of policies supporting innovative teaching approach. These are all I have for my presentation. And I hope I'm able to convince you that actually using this approach actually could help and empower our students in their learning process. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is my humble appeal to all the remaining participants to please. This is my humble appeal to all the remaining. I think we have 8 more presenters right now, and I would like to humbly appeal to you to please stick to at least 3 to 4 minutes presentation. Please don't take much of the time because we are already very late into this presentation. So this is my humble appeal to all the presenters. Ma'am, go ahead with the next one. Chauhan ma'am.
Wafa Bhashri Ibrahim.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Wafa Bashir Ibrahim. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, let me share my slide first. Okay. First and foremost, I would like to thank the management of this conference for giving me opportunity to present my paper on this wonderful occasion. The title of my paper is Fostering Language Growth in Early Childhood, the Role and Responsibilities of Language Teachers and Caregivers. That's the title of my paper. Now, on the abstract, I say early childhood is a critical period for language development, and both language teachers and caregivers play an essential role in fostering language growth during this period. So this paper explores the influence of these key figures in the early language acquisition processes, emphasizing the responsibilities in creating supportive, interactive environment that nurture communication skills. The paper also examines the strategies and techniques employed by language teachers, including scaffolding, and guide interaction, as well as the role of caregivers in modeling language and providing opportunities for this rich verbal interaction. The paper highlights the importance of collaboration between teachers and caregivers, underscoring their shared responsibility in promoting linguistic development through consistent, responsive, and engaging practices. By addressing the intersection of caregiving, teaching, and language development, this offer underscore profound impact of early interaction on the long-term language abilities of young children. That's for the abstract. Because of time, I'm trying to hurry up because of the time. Now, on the introduction, the language means whereby where we express our thought, ideas, and share our feelings with others. So language is a code, system, convention, dynamic, sound, and is arbitrary and unique. So language as a code signifies the fact that one thing can represent another, which will require interpretation. So now learning at the So learning, on the other hand, is a process of gaining language and understanding, developing skills, value, and attributes through exposure to certain skills and experiences. This is permanent change of behavior. Once learning is achieved, other taking place. Learning takes place from cradle to adulthood, and indeed throughout the life. So learning is made possible in any given field by instrumentality of language. All learning fields are communicated in other way or the other using means of language. Thus, language play a key role in acquisition and knowledge, understanding, skills, values, and attributes formally or informally. Now, stages of language development. We have two stages of language development. That's pre-linguistic stage and linguistic stage. Now, roles of teachers and caregivers in fostering language development. Number one is encourage children to verbalize their experiences while performing an activity or at its completion. Number two, introducing variety in the experience of sustaining interest, improve vocabulary, and involve all senses. Number three, talk to the children frequently during activity. Number four is giving patient hearing to each child narration. Now, the next thing is language development and the implication for teachers, for language teachers. Number A, teachers should consistently use rich, varied, and complex language in both spoken and written form, modeling the language learners and need to acquire. Encourage the use of both formal and informal language and incorporate diverse vocabulary into every interaction. They should also use descriptive language when narrating classroom activities, reading stories aloud, or discussing topics. Regularly introducing new vocabulary in context, providing opportunities for students to see and use it. Now, let me go to the function of language. Now, on the function of language, I said language development. On the function of language. On the function of language. Hello, am I audible? One of the prominent benefits that man gets over animal is the ability to use language in his day-to-day activity. Man always engaged in one form of activity or the other. So language in very early years of life mostly used for communication of feelings and identification of close associates like caregivers. The function of language extends with the growth of the child to enable the child fit well in the society. Apart from the use of language to communicate, language perform the following. Number one, children use language to control behavior and thought. Number two, language is a medium of instruction in school. Number three, language serves as means of identity. Number four, language transmits culture. And number five, language transmits history. Factors that impair language development. Language development requires the environment for users of the target language of necessary expertise to be achieved. There is no sufficient exposure to language.
Come to the conclusion. I request you kindly come to the conclusion and your findings.
Okay, ma. Recommendation. Based on understanding the language development and implication for language teachers below are several recommendations to enhance language teaching practice and support student language acquisition effectively. Number one, teachers should consistently use rich and varied and complex language in both spoken and written. Number two, teachers, caregivers should design classroom activities that encourage communication and interaction, as social engagement is vital for language development. Number three, teachers should foster listening and speaking activities that require students to process and respond to language, not just receive it. Then, in conclusion, fostering language development has many processes that require teachers to understand the stage of language acquisition, adapt their teaching strategy, and create supportive, engaging, and learning environment. By focusing on key practices as providing a language-rich environment, encouraging meaningful communication, scaffolding learning, and integration strategy, teachers can significantly enhance student language skills. So these are the references. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Now we have Miss Olen Rewaju, Stephania Adon-K.
Yes, good evening from Nigeria. I am here to present
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello, Hello.
Yes, you are audible. Kindly proceed.
Please, I want to share my screen and okay. Okay, let me continue then, since this is not really responding. I want to present a co-authored paper titled Can Artificial Intelligence Build Educators' Resilience and Sustainability by Sikiru Morakinyo Raimi, Adeniyi Musibau Bolagade, Ahmed Aminat Adekemi, Olarewaju Stephanie Aderonke, and Abiodun Ezekiel Adeshino. Sustainability is seen as the ability to maintain at a certain rate or level. Resilience, in the other hand, is the ability to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Educators in Nigeria have low level of resilience and sustainability. Artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize various industries, including education, by providing tools and platforms to support educators in various ways. However, the role of AI in building educators' resilience and sustainability remains relatively unexplored. AI can help educators manage their workload by automating administrative tasks, providing personalized support, and offering emotional support and counseling. Five research objectives guided the study, which were examine how familiar the lecturers are with the concept of artificial intelligence in education, assess the most significant challenges faced by educators in terms of resilience and sustainability, evaluate how AI is helping educators in building resilience and sustainability, identify any potential risks or challenges associated with the use of AI in education, evaluate the lecturer's thoughts on the future of AI in education and how they see it evolving in the next decades. 5 research questions were generated from the set objective, and the methodology used for the study was a qualitative research in literature review design. The sample for the study was accidental sampling of lecturers. Participants was recruited through the email, WhatsApp, and private invitation based on their availability, and all willing to participate in the study. One research instrument guided the study, named Lecturer Opinion on Building Educators' Resilience and Sustainability Through Artificial Intelligence Interview. The result was themed into 5 different themes. The first theme was awareness and familiarity with AI in education. 34 interviewees were familiar with AI in education. 26 interviewees had limited knowledge and no awareness of AI in education, but were interested to learn more. While 10 of the interviewees were apathetic to artificial intelligence and show no awareness of the construct and not willing to learn about it. The second theme was the challenges faced by educators. Then 65 interviewees identified workload, burnout, and lack of resources as the most significant challenges faced by educators in terms of resilience and sustainability. 5 interviewees highlighted the challenges of adapting to new technologies and changing students' needs. While the theme 3,
kindly come to the conclusion.
Okay. Conclusively, participants identify both opportunities and challenges, emphasizing the need for targeted efforts to bridge gaps in AI awareness. Data privacy, security, and transparency were common concern alongside fear about diminished social interaction. And
Looking ahead, most participants envisioned AI as a transformative tool, urging ethical inclusion and well-supported adoption to ensure AI empowers educators and foster resilience, sustainable and equitable education. Recommendations were that the increase of awareness and training on AI should be done to educators, then provide professional development opportunities, address systemic challenges of education, develop transparent and ethical AI system, and strengthen data privacy and security regulation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Now we have Miss Mamta Devi. Miss Mamta Devi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, excuse me, I would like to again humbly appeal to all of you. We were given only 45 minutes for this technical session, and we are already at least 1 hour and 15 minutes into it, right? So we have already taken at least double of our time. You already knew, all the participants who are the presenters, they knew that the technical session is of 45 minutes. Then you should present according to those 45 minutes. We are needed to accommodate all the presenters. Ma'am, don't make my position difficult. Please kindly conclude it as early as possible and in a very effective manner. Since this is your own presentation, you should know better about it, right?
Okay, thank you. Today, my topic is sociological and psychological and economical barrier to women's sports participation in Punjab. A comparative study of the Majha and Doaba region of the Punjab. Myself is Mamta Devi, PhD Scholar, Department of Physical Education, Guru Kashi University, Talwandi Sabo, Bathinda, Punjab. Introduction. Sports participation foster physical health, psychological well-being, and social inclusion. That women in Punjab, Majha and Doaba region face barrier hindering their involvement. This study examined sociological, psychologically, and economically challenge affecting women's sports participation using a comparative cross-sectional design. As stratified random sampling of 200 women aged 18 to 20 years or per regions was study was survey type. Data analyzed through the ANOVA relevant the Doaba reporting high sociological and economical barriers, while Majha faced more psychological challenges. Economical barriers were the most significant.
Kindly go to your findings and conclusion.
Object to analyze the sociological and psychological.
For objectives, kindly go to your findings and conclusion only.
Okay, ma'am. Conclusion. The research identifies sociological, psychological, and economical barrier are key challenges to women's sports participation in Punjab, Majha, and Doaba regions. Doaba face significantly higher socioculture and economical hurdles, while both regions required tolerate with psychological support. Economical barriers are the most significant, demanding urgent policies to improve financial support for the infrastructure as regions specific multidisciplinary approach addressing socioculture reform, mental health, and economical investment is essential to promote women's active participation in sports. Recommendations to address these barriers to promote women's sports participation in Punjab. Sociological barriers, community awareness, campaigning, female role model, psychological barrier, counseling and sport programs. दूसरा peer network. मैम मैं शॉर्ट में कर रही हूँ. Economical barrier, financial assistance or infrastructure development, cross regional collaborations, policy recommendations. By can they implement these strategies, Punjab can take significant step toward increasing.
Please call the next presenter. Namta ma'am, thank you for your presentation.
Okay,
Johan ma'am, please
so
call the next presenter.
Okay. Next we have Miss Vaishali, Technology in Education. Miss Vaishali.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so good evening, ma'am. Myself Vishali, research scholar, Indira Gandhi National Open University. The topic on which I am presenting is technology in education, application needs and challenges. The content include the introduction, objectives, recommendations and references. Introduction, technology. It refers to the tools or systems that we use to improve the processes and to enhance the human life. Technology in education refers to the use of the tools and the resources to enhance the teaching learning process. We have 5 objectives. Moving towards the objectives and findings. The first is the comparison between the traditional education and today education system. As we are aware, in traditional education, we face-to-face classroom instructions were there, and in today's education, hybrid mode is preferred. There was limited use of technology earlier, and we are using technology in every aspect. Teacher-centered approach was focused in the traditional times, and now student-centered approach. In traditional education, feedback was given to at the end, and we have limited access to information. This is because of the less and limited use of technology. Now we have continuous assessment, that is the formative assessment. We have vast access to information and a flexible schedule in today's education. And traditional education can be expensive, whereas today's education, we have online learning platforms that has
Shall
cut down
kindly
the
come to
cost.
the findings? Kindly come to the findings.
Okay, so talking about the findings revealed that the traditional education is more teacher-centered, rigid, and today's education is more student-centered, more flexible, and more technology-driven. The advancement in technology have brought an evolution in education by increasing the accessibility through e-learning platforms, reducing the cost, providing vast access to information, personalized learning, and global collaboration. By integrating various technological tools and devices such as e-learning platforms, Google Classrooms, Kahoot, assistive and adaptive technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, educators can enhance engagement. They can improve the learning outcomes and equip the students. Now, talking about the National Education Policy 2020, that has stressed on the online learning platforms, development of the teacher profession, the professional development of the teachers, collaborative learning, and ethical use of technology, use of open educational resources. While technology has immense potential, its implementation also faces several educational content and challenges. The challenges like the digital divide, the resistance to change, the lack of training, the technical issues. The students with special needs also face multiple challenges. And one of the major challenge, that is the over reliance on the technology. Recommendations: the government and educational institutions should work together to ensure the benefits of the technology so that it can be used to promote the equity, inclusivity, and to increase the learning, the teaching learning process. These are the references that I have used. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we have Mr. Venkatesh Subramanian Ganpati.
Yes, madam. Madam, some technical issue, madam. I will come next.
Okay, no problem. Next, Professor Anamika Kumari. Professor Anamika Kumari.
Ma'am, mark her absent and then call the next participant.
Okay, next, Mrs. Simin Bhava.
I'm Juhi Hinduja, one of the co-authors.
Okay.
Yes, so I'll be presenting, but one small request. I want you to listen to this interactive PPT because it's very close to my heart. So thank you so much. I expect your attention to it and everybody. I hope it's visible. Is it? Am I audible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
You are audible, but just humble request that since this is your topic and your research area, so you should be able to put it in few words also, right?
Yes,
So
I will.
kindly take
I
time, huh?
promise I'll be precise. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay,
Greetings.
thank
Yes.
you thank you, and rather sorry for being rude, but I think somebody has to take the brunt of your henna anger because everybody is running for time right now, huh? Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So firstly, I'll start by saying that my topic is micro-retirement, a philosophical approach to pause with purpose as a pursuit of eudaimonia. Now, first, let me tell you about the concept of micro-retirement. Micro-retirement is basically taking shorter breaks in your work duration so that you are able to enjoy life, refocus, rethink, and come back with a fresh energy. Now, once you've come back with a fresh energy, I would like to say, because there's a lot of stress and burnout, I would like to say this topic is very close to my heart because I'm a single child of two working parents, and now that they're growing older, I see the effect of stress and burnout on them. That's why I wanted to elaborate. Now, coming to eudaimonia and aligning it with Aristotle's eudaimonia. Eudaimonia basically means good well-being, and that is achieved by happiness. And so basically, when a person is taking shorter breaks and improving their job satisfaction and living happily, they are doing actions in order to reach a goal. Now, if I am presenting this research paper, the research paper is presented because it adds value and gives awareness to people, which will ultimately give me happiness. So happiness is the highest human goal. So I would also like to say that micro retirement is also similar, that one person is investing in their own lives and prioritizing themselves. Now, coming to the existential perspective, we say that there is an essence. Why do we do that? We do, like, what makes us something that we are? So essence is something that makes us, and essence is not something that is predefined or predestined. It is something that we are responsible for it and we create on our own. So micro retirements gives us a space and opportunity to prioritize ourselves and do things that we were passionate about. If I want to climb Everest base camp, I can do it in my youth. But if I accumulate wealth and wait for a deferred happiness for an uncertain future or my old age or after retirement, I won't be able to do that. That's why I have to do the right thing at the right time in the right way. So micro retirements gives me that opportunity. Now after that, I have taken few financial I've taken an interview from a financial advisor from UAE, and he has a lot of great insights that helped my study. So the insights were that one has to focus on the financial planning. One has to build a financial cushion, something that gives them a reliability that they can take this. Now, before taking a larger micro retirement, that is for few months or few years, they will wait and they will do a trial period of at least a month and see if they are able to do that. Because when you are not working, you have to scale down on a lot of expenses. So now doing that requires a lot of adjustment. You should test that if your lifestyle allows you to do that, or at what age you can do it. But this is very important for youth that they are doing. So this topic aligns with the topic of our research paper, and that is SDGs. So it aligns with the SDG 3, that means good health and well-being, SDG 8, that is decent work and economic growth, and SDG 9 of inclusivity and sustainable innovation. So organizations can come together and give them financial support and planning. After giving them financial support and planning, they can also be open to hiring people who are micro retiring. Also, the increase in remote, hybrid, and flexible working culture by freelancing as well, people can actually be on a leisure and do a purposeful leisure by skill enhancement, because they also have to catch up to the growing trends. So by doing this, people can achieve their success, they can find meaning, and they can live a quality life. This is something that I've found. One has to also take in consideration the micro retirement number. So micro retirement number is basically anticipating the cost and the lifestyle that you will have in your next upcoming years. Like, for example, I am 21 right now, but when I'll be 45, I will see how much I can spend according to my lifestyle, according to my health, God willing it's good, but according to my health and all my other family lives. So now everybody has to take into an estimate of this and see what do they earn and how can they earn. Now you have to delay your retirement, okay, but you have to take smaller breaks so that you become more productive, because toxic productivity is not sustainable. We have to look towards something that is more sustainable in work life and people enjoy what they are doing. That's how we can get our goal, and we can achieve sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Dr. Shri Vidya Muthwell. Dr.
Yeah.
Shri Vidya.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. My screen is visible? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My topic for the day is integrating indigenous knowledge in organizational leadership. We are going to speak about how a leader actually enhances the team by allowing everyone to lead with them and not them alone actually climbing the stairs of the success. So indigenous knowledge of exchange comes to the picture when we actually have the introspective, focus of holistic perspective and also concreting into the experiential and contextual knowledge. Indigenous knowledge always talks about our traditional practices with integration of the modern practices that helps us to have our roots intact and also record the observations that would reflect unique perspectives and values. Going ahead, we should know the indigenous importance for the organization. We speak upon sustainable practices, innovation and creativity, and community engagement. This will happen only when with bridging the age gaps, when we speak to each other and respect each other's ideas and ponder upon what might have told that person to think that way, instead of having a preconceived notion and judging the person of what they are. So, indigenous knowledge for all the organizations for cumulative success is very, very important. Now, there are some challenges to integrate indigenous knowledge. It comes under cultural sensitivity, institutional barriers, where the government and the people and they want to liberalize certain rules, but at the at some point of time the barriers actually don't allow them to integrate. And the second part is somewhere the government lacks awareness about the people and the people lack awareness about the government rules. So this we have to overcome in order to respect our indigenous knowledge. There are some success stories about the integration where when communities come together, we have shared agriculture, shared resource conservation. And when we talk about design thinking nowadays, where CBSE has introduced, we speak about sustainable development goals. We speak about how energy efficient buildings and sustainable infrastructure actually manifests the future. And this gives the children to be a good leader for themselves and for the organizations that they would be incorporating with. Now, indigenous values and principles, is based upon respect, responsibility, and reciprocity, where everything is promoted for a long-term sustainability, not leaving anyone behind, rather taking everyone together. Decision-making process, when we do this, we have the what we say, eminence of power sharing, shared governance, shared thoughts. And then comes the power booster called as enhancing of GDP, where the power sharing of mind comes into picture. Fostering cross-cultural understanding is where we have to be on the basis where we try to understand other people's language or other countries' language and the values behind those languages, so that we can integrate with them with purpose. Empowering the employees and the communities, once we understand them, give them training and mentoring them, and hiring and retention, not to hire and fire, but to retain them. Even if they fall back in some aspects, the organization should be very empathetic, and see towards them as a community investment, as a resource, not as a liability though. Coming to the last slide, practical steps for integration of indigenous knowledge comes under assessment. Our partnerships, training, and implementation is, holding our hands together, forever together, to make our Bharat Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ma'am Chauhan, have we
Yeah.
completed our
Yeah,
presenters?
yes, we have completed, but I would like to call Miss Parul Tomar.
Yeah, Parul was left. Yeah, Miss Parul was left. Kindly call her. And ma'am,
Yes, this is last presentation. Yeah, Miss Parul Tomar.
please,
Madam,
please come.
myself, ma'am, Venkata Subramanian Ganapati.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Miss Parul Tomar, kindly present your paper. Miss Parul Tomar.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible. Kindly proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm Parul Somar. I'm from NS College, and my topic is sustainability of organization during and post pandemic. The study analyzes the wealth of empirical and theoretical research on leadership for tactical and sustainable organizational development in relation to important facets of the current pandemic, such as public health, accountability to society, hunger, and organizational and management innovation. The article take into the consideration influencing studies that explore fundamental commercial ideas, principal ideologies, and strategies for expanding, boosting, and sustaining social and corporate environmental sustainability. It does this by drawing on existing COVID-19 administration and ethical leadership publications that were published between 2020 to 2023, using bibliographic and literature systematic tools and study examine the trait and relationship of reports in order to clarify the expectation and implication for enterprises globally regarding the long-term commercially and functional effect of COVID-19. Researchers throw the light on the substantial impact that the virus has had on corporate wellness, economical, operational, and emotional surveillance, and there is an analysis of the patient study on the relationship between the sustainability and emerging disease from the individual, organizational, and external perspectives. We stress the importance of technological advancement in the way of the COVID-19 pandemic and in the year to come. A collection of diversity executives of service clarity, technological redesign, novel market construction, collaboration with revival and contemporary market for the survival, collaboration with the other stakeholders. Open innovation are some of the often used strategies to overcome the diversity. The SARS-CoV-2 pandemic created a novel and
Parul,
unanticipated.
please conclude your ma'am. Please conclude it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Conclusion. The 2020 most serious worldwide COVID-19 had a profound impact on the variety of companies and sectors. Scholars have taken a notice of this. This literature has become the fragmented as a result of this instantaneous cluster of effects. Thus, the article examined both the possibilities and obstacles from the internal structure as well as external economic circumstances, as well as these structure and assess the literature of the pandemic and business sustainable growth. We discovered that the number of shift in the work practice during COVID had an impact on the corporate workers' mental health, result in unpleasant.
Madam Tomar, please conclude it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to now call Dr. Mr. Venkat Subramaniam, and this is again my humble request to you, sir, to please kindly keep it as brief as possible.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Sure, madam. Shall I start?
Yes, you
good
should
evening,
go.
the most respected chairperson, the most respected coordinator, and my dear colleague. Let us discuss on comprehensive review of adversarial quantum attacks on AI. Yeah. Adversarial quantum attacks refers to the use of quantum computing principles or quantum enhanced techniques to exploit vulnerabilities in artificial intelligence system. These attacks are designed to deceive artificial intelligence model like a machine learning classifier or neural networks by introducing subtle perturbations or exploiting computational weakness that are amplified by the power of quantum algorithm. There are so many attacks are there. Side channel attack, poisoning attack, transfer attack, white box versus black box attacks. Let us see on the quantum enabled evasion attacks. These attacks use quantum computing to generate adversarial examples that evade detection by algorithm, potentially leading to leading to the fraudulent transactions or financial.
Come to
Yeah.
your findings and conclusion. Come to your findings or conclusion.
Yeah. So this is the usage of a quantum simulator to test and enhance the classical defense. Here there are two charts out there. If in the left side chart, effort conversion chart, a classical effort increases significantly as the complexity of the target, that is, machine learning model size or robustness grows. But in case of the quantum effort, increases the slower rate due to the computational efficiency of quantum algorithm, making evasion attacks or complex more feasible system. And right-hand side steps in evasion attack mechanism, that is in blue color or classical method, often require more effort in perturbation crafting and model inquiry compared to quantum-enabled attacks, red color. Quantum techniques reduces the effort at each stage, particularly in generating optimal perturbations and pouring the model effectively. Research finding hybrid threats, the integration of quantum and classical system create hybrid vulnerabilities where adversarial exploit weak points in the classical quantum interference. Recommendations: we have to strengthen the hybrid system to ensure the robust security protocol at classical quantum interfaces to prevent hybrid attacks. Use quantum secure encryption for data transfer between classical and quantum components. In conclusions, by adopting robust training quantum our defenses and a secure architecture, organization can mitigate the risk associated with the quantum-enabled evasion attacks and maintain trust in machine learning system. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hanji, yes.
Priyanka. Priyanka, ma'am, me Dimple Juneja. Yesterday they added
Listen to ma'am. First of all, we were also shared at least I was shared the list yesterday, but that is not an issue because your name is not here. We cannot count you here. The list.
Ma'am, please. Actually, me having right now list means Professor Priyanka Singla, ma'am, technical session 1, or after 299 number, they added my name 117, Mrs. Dimple Juneja.
Well, ma'am, listen to me. You go ahead and talk to the ICRT host and you will be entertained. I am not denying your right to do so. I am just saying that right now in the list, your name is not there.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You add my name 117.
You just go ahead and talk to the ICRT host, which is there in this meeting also. Huh?
Ma'am, right now, possible, ma'am, how it will be possible right now? Actually, you consider my presentation or later I will talk.
Johan, ma'am, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Even I don't have her name.
Actually, after 299, Miss Juhi Hinduja, earlier she has presented. Later they added my name 117, Mrs. Dimple Juneja. Me having list right now or later means like...
Ma'am, Singla ma'am, it is up to you, whatever you like. I have no issue.
Dimple ma'am, you have 2 minutes. You go ahead and present it. I am not at all claiming that you have presented here, because there is no proof as per list that you have presented right now. I am not claiming. I won't give you the chit that you have presented if they will ask me, because there is no name of yours on the list which we have been given. You can go ahead and present here. If you want to record it on your own, then you can record it. I won't claim it because I do not have any proof, right? You can go ahead and present it. You have 2 minutes to give your presentation, please.
Thanks for providing the chance. Me keeping my words in brief, like me research scholar from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur, or me keeping in my words in brief. My topic name is Contribution of Innovative Teaching Models. Innovative teaching models are based on modern outlook. They are based on the efforts to make education better. These models have been come to light after lots of researches and brainstorming. We either work on something new or modernize the prevailing methods. Calculated risks need to be taken. We may fail sometimes, but we need to keep on trying. We try multiple times and create an environment of transformation and creativity in the lecture rooms that motivates our students. The students are involved in the learning process. The students involved in the learning process are more punctual and achieve academic success. Students should be at the center of teaching learning process. Let's go through some popular innovative teaching models commonly employed by the teachers in the classrooms. In a flipped classroom, the study material is reviewed by the students at home, while the assignments and projects are taken up in the lecture rooms. The flipped classrooms provide ample opportunities to students to discuss and brainstorm among themselves. Personalized learning is based on specialized teaching for each and every student. In this, a single model is not employed to teach the whole class, but teachers teach each student as per his strengths and weakness. Project-based learning is another important learning method in which students chalk out their own learning trajectory. In project-based learning, students recognize a real-life problem and work on finding its solution. Project-based learning creates skills like research, logical thinking, troubleshooting, and cooperation in students. Inquiry-based learning leads to development of logical and troubleshooting capabilities instead of delivering traditional lectures. Teachers present queries, situations, problems to the students. Students brainstorm these issues to find the solutions. Jigsaw is another important learning model. The best part is Jigsaw allows students to act as a teacher and teach the piece. In Jigsaws, multiple groups of students are created and each group is assigned a topic. Students in each group are instructed to study the topic deeply. Students are sent to other groups to explain their learnings. In today's world, students need to have good communication skills and compassion. Teachers should ask open-ended questions and promote spirited discussions in the classrooms. Students should collaborate and share their learnings with others. This will let students to grow in confidence and present their views. Mastery on the subject is achieved when we teach.
Please conclude it. Please conclude it.
Feedback is very important. Students should be taught to give and accept feedback. Students should be provided channels for feedback. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, right now I would like to consult with Chauhan ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, will you provide your number? Me in list having your name, ma'am.
Please let me conclude it first of all, because it has already been too late. We have started at 7 o'clock and right now we are at 2:20.
Fully agree with your word.
Ma'am, you are also a research scholar. You are also a teacher's job. You should understand that right now we are disturbing other participants also. Let me conclude it. Let me conclude it, please, and then you can go ahead and talk with Chauhan, ma'am.
Okay.
Let me conclude. Okay. Ma'am Chauhan, we are supposed to select two presenters, best presenters. So I think Juhi ma'am's presentation was a novel one.
Yes, I am agree, ma'am.
Yeah, it was a very novel presentation, and then there was Mr. Bafa's presentation was also good.
Mr. Wafa, 17 number. Okay, no problem, ma'am. No
Otherwise,
problem.
if you have any input, you can also give the same.
No, he was my first priority. Then I was also thinking
Okay,
Shri Vidya
just go
Putwal.
ahead.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and submit the same to ICRT as per your convenience, right?
Okay.
I have given you the verdict that first is Juhi Juneja's presentation and the second one is Mr.
Wafa.
Bafa's presentation. Huh? And
Okay.
please, other participants can leave the meeting. We are done with this
Just a
session.
second. Just a second.
Yeah.
I sincerely thank you, ma'am,
Ma'am,
for
thank you,
sharing the
ma'am.
session.
Actually, I would like to apologize also.
With a
I
great,
was
only
not
1 minute, ma'am. Only 1 minute. Thank you very much for your great expertise and ensuring a smooth and engaging discussion. Ma'am, your valuable insights and thoughtful moderation significantly enriched the session. And I would like to thank you for accepting the invitation for chairing this session, for sparing your valuable time with us. And it was really very interesting session, and I truly appreciate your contribution to the success of conference. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am. सूत्रधार आप ही थे. And thank you for your time also. Thank you to all participants. And Madam Johan, please take the query of Dimple ma'am. Other participants can leave. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Johan ma'am, this is Shri Vidya over here, Dr. Shri Vidya. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. I think you have considered my name also.
Yeah, I was considering it, but I am angry with the decision of Dimple of R. Singla ma'am. I will not. I cannot go. But whatever she has suggested, I have marked 2-3 best presenters. You were also there, but Wafa, I have also Wafa also marked, but I will go with ma'am. Okay.
Johan ma'am.
Yes.
And now what to do means how to take further step, ma'am. Tell me, please.
What's your name? Dimple Juneja?
Juneja, yes, ma'am. Last name. They have
You give me your topic. You give me your title. You Dimple Juneja. I have written your name.
Contribution of innovative teaching models.
Contributing of
Contribution
of
innovative teaching models.
Intro is
Innovative
teaching
model.
Teaching
models.
Okay, I will give. I have written your name and title. I will.
My name is, ma'am, my number is 117 in the list. Yes.
Okay. I will send to Sandeep sir. If he wants, you can also talk to organizers if they will consider you. I have no problem.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
This is
everyone.
Juhi.
Yes, Juhi.
Ma'am, can I leave?
Yes, you
something
can
that
leave.
I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, all can leave now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Johan ma'am, I'll kindly request you to put this to even Sandeep sir